Hello, ladies, gentlemen, and non-binary pals. Welcome to the RWBY Radio Podcast. 3 episodes in, and the angst is at 11. Oh, what a great start. I am totally not quaking in fear. So, before we get into this episode, and why there are 10 million worrying things about everything that's about to happen, I have to introduce my amazing guest this week. Some of the best art you're going to see in the RWBY fandom, and I truly mean that. The one and only SunnyTeea.
Hello! Salutations!
How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty great. I just rewatched the episode for a refresh, and I'm like, ah! Everything's fine.
That is the most accurate response. I'm not sure how, when I do the subtitles for this, I'm going to make that work, but it's such an accurate response to this episode.
Just put scream. Just scream of anguish.
I don't know about you, but I certainly didn't see this coming. Like, I didn't expect the episode to go the way it did, and then to fill it with so much dread at the end.
It was lighthearted, if you could call this season lighthearted. As lighthearted as it can be. But at that end, it was just...
I think that was one of the things... we're going to get into this in a bit. But one of the things I really loved about this episode is that it managed to mix both those horrid sense of dread and the pulse-pounding action with those fantastic lighthearted moments.
It was a great just like combination, this blend of having that like duality of like what this show can be in this episode. We had it all this episode, and we're only 3 episodes in, so whatever the rest of the season is going to be like, I think this is a great like point to tell you that it's going to hit whatever marks it's meant to hit.
Yeah, RWBY are in full stride now. They are firing all guns, as the saying would go.
No punches pulled.
Oh, certainly not with the team of Revash, Shawcross, Luna, and Burkhart. No, they ain't pulling any punches. So anyway, I'm going to slap a giant spoiler warning on the screen for you right now. If you've not watched the episode, please go watch it, or if you are waiting for it to go free on this Saturday, wait a few hours and then watch this. Unless you want spoilers, in which case, more power to you, I guess.
Go right ahead.
So getting into the episode, this entire episode, they actually had the teaser shared beforehand, and it's Team Rainbow, I think, is the phrase everyone's going with.
I think you're right. I think is it Rainbow or Rainbow Power, something like that. The ladies.
The ladies. We get them as they're coming out of the pressure pipes that Weiss decided was the most sensible way to get into Atlas. We get Nora's comeuppance for sending Weiss through the tube like a folded up letter.
Poor Weiss.
Poor Weiss. What's Nora's phrase? A once in a lifetime opportunity.
Yeah.
And oh my god, I never knew I wanted Blake as the comic relief. But, it's the best thing in the world.
No, what I think a lot of people forget, like, from the very beginning, Blake is sassy. She's kind of snarky, and people don't tend to remember that. But this is Blake at, like, her most comfortable. So it's really great to see her just come out and be herself. Finally, after all, the shit that she had to go through. Oh, am I allowed to swear here?
Oh, darling, do not mind. Swear left, right, and centre.
Oh, that's fucking great. Thank you. That's what I'm like a sailor.
That's the best response. I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, Blake. Yeah, we get Blake with her hair completely frazzled coming out of the tube saying she never wants to do that again.
This is something she never wants to do again. And girl, I feel ya. I feel ya.
I was going to say, if you've got two sets of ears, that's double the... my biology is going to fail me now. The Kuchia, whatever helps your balance in your ears.
Oh no!
If you think about it, she's got to have double that. So my guessing is the reason she's so off is because she's got double the input.
Oh, my poor girl, Blake. I'm so sorry.
But,
I didn't even realize that. Oh, poor girl.
The sass in Blake is just... And as you said, like, her coming out of her shell, like, we're seeing the Blake who is all the demons of her past. She's finally vanquished, quite literally. And we're getting to see her being this sassy, fun-loving self. And it did make me think the last time we saw her be the comic relief was, what, volume 3? When she's having the noodles?
Yeah.
It's been so long.
There was a couple sassy moments back in like volume 5 and 6. Well, not really 5, but definitely 6. There was some here and there. And in 7 too, like the beginning, I think. But this is the Blake I love and to see. This is why people love Blake. We know people who love Blake have seen this, and now we have everyone being able to see it in your face. This is Blake Belladonna. She's a whole ass mood. That's what she is.
Yeah.
This entire episode. I feel that.
We then get Penny go full video game, where she completely does the classic Assassin's Creed vision and sees exactly the directions they need to go. Of the perfect cutback of just everyone but Ruby is stunned is perfect. It is perfect.
Ruby's like, cool. I'm like, yes, I agree. Everyone's like, okay, Penny, you do you. We love and support you. You do you. Don't understand it. Go for it.
Oh, in this house, we support Penny.
And we call her by her name.
Yeah, we get Ruby giving like a smirk to May after May calls her Robo Girl.
But she does after that start calling her Penny, which I think was really great. Like they didn't like cut that out. They just like, okay, this is her name. This is what May's gonna call her now. So it's like beautiful.
Cue the gif saying growth.
Growth.
We also get May just her semblance is too cool. Like as they just go sneaking around this bubble, and
she's an invisibility field. It's amazing.
Yes. We get the fantastic bit of them stuck in the elevator with some Atlas guards, and them having to press up against the wall. Of Nora goes full gremlin as they leave and just hits every single button along the side.
I love that. I was cracking up. I was like, yes, Nora, I could count on you to pull some shit like this. Yes. I love her.
I do like how the subtitles at this point say spy music.
It was so funny. Spy music. They weren't wrong.
They weren't wrong. And so we get Penny go full Robo Girl, and she's got a USB drive in her finger. I mean, if you're gonna have robotic arms, why not? Yang, you need to get that upgrade. And
well, we don't know that she can't. Just saying.
You do raise a very good point. Penny saying they have to go right through Central Command, and we get Penny perfectly explain Ruby's semblance whilst this Ruby Chibi-esque cartoon plays next to her.
It was great. It was fantastic. Just like Ruby with the white guy blinking meme. That was basically what she did the entire time Penny was explaining her semblance to her.
I didn't know I needed a Ruby Chibi animatic explaining Ruby's semblance. But damn, yes, please. It works so well.
Good. It was so cute. We haven't had something like that since I think volume 1 or 2. It's been a very long time.
It's even better when it just cuts back to Ruby and Ruby's reaction is, what?
She was so confused.
And we get Penny explain a more simple thing. And we get sassy Blake just lean in of, did Penny figure out your semblance before you did?
But Ruby shoots right back. She's like, she knew she was a faunus before you were a faunus before I did. So it's like, I love it.
I'll be honest, I did not expect a volume 1 callback in this episode. But again, I'm glad they did it. It was amazing.
This episode has basically been a bunch of volume 1 callbacks. And I am here for it. I love it. And just like Blake totally taking over those like big sister duties for Yang, just like being like just snarky and teasing towards Ruby. Like, oh, I love that. I love having Ruby and Blake interactions because they were a team, you know, they have a bond, and people are like, they don't have any connection. They're not anything special. Like, they're like sisters. They're family. And family is mean to each other. They're sassy like that.
Yeah. One of the big criticisms of Volume 7 was there wasn't enough interaction between the main characters. And considering how 7 was set up, in that 7 was literally a setup for the events of Volume 8, and I'm guessing Volume 9, it's kind of understandable. Mm-hmm. But they had talked a lot. I'm thinking of multiple different panels they did before this season, this volume, saying of how there was going to be this personal interaction, especially between Team RWBY. I love them. Even just the small ones like this, that is just nothing but sass between the characters. It's just perfect.
It shows you their dynamic. It's really good and really nice to see. I love having that. And I don't know how the rest of this volume is going to go, but I really hope to see more from here on out.
And so, of course, after we have such a lovely part, we go to a completely horrible scene where we get Ironwood walking in, and his first line is, "Apologies for the delay. Today has been busy."
Yeah, busy after murdering someone.
Let's recap what Ironwood has done within the last 12 hours alone. 12 hours alone. He started the evacuation of Mantle, but then immediately lied on TV to lure out Watts. Watts by sacrificing his own arm. Got back, saw a black chess piece, and instantly fell for Cinder's game. Revealing where the Winter Maiden was. And telling Winter to go kill the Winter Maiden, and deciding to abandon Mantle, which is a city of thousands, maybe millions of people, and leaving them all to die, and turning on Team RWBY, and turning on Team Juniper, and then shooting Oscar, and then killing Councilman Sleet.
Well, he also did throw Robin and Crow in jail. Don't forget that either.
Yep, and threw Robin and Crow in jail.
This man must be stopped.
This man must be stopped. I've literally said this on every podcast. I said it on the first one with Eula. I said it on the last one with Pigota. I'm saying it again this week. If you couldn't hate Ironwood, he does something more to make you hate him a little bit, just a little bit more.
He's just and I guess if we're like talking like within show reasons, part of it I believe is due to his semblance, which was revealed recently, I believe, and it's called Mettle, Mettle, which is well, my dude, please turn it off. Is there an off button?
Is there an off button? As we see him walk up behind Watts working on a computer and slap both his hands down on his shoulder, asking him if he needs more motivation, as we see that Watts is trying to hack into Penny's systems.
It's just, this Tin Man has got a loose screw is all I'm gonna say.
Yep. And we get Watts saying that getting through Pietro's magical science project is tough, but he believes he can do it. And we get the bit of Ironwood saying, "I trust you can do it." And then Watts just snarkily, "Oh, the trust is palpable." And the camera pans around, there's 4 guards all aiming guns at him. Some of the comedic timing in this is just perfect.
It's really good. It was really good. I laughed, I chuckled, I giggled quite a few times this episode.
I will say, Ironwood with trusting Watts. You're trusting Watts after you're the one saying loyalty is everything and all that, and betraying trust back in the office to RWBY. Oh, you tin can. I was going to swear, but I stopped myself for some reason.
Loose screw is all I'm saying. But I just think it's also really bad judgment on Ironwood's part. And I think it's also now because of his semblance, just like not making him see or think clearly. Because what in your right mind would let you trust Watts? Like, oh yes, you have guns pointed at him, and yes, you're telling him you better hack into Pietro's systems for me, but this is Watts, and he works for someone else. And if you don't know what he is doing, like, who's to say he's not going to do something that'll help him help Salem, you know? It's really bad on all ends. Like, every person has their own motive, you know? Mm-hmm. You can't just tell someone, like, do my motive instead. Like, no, it's not going to work like that. And Watts really scares me, what he's actually going to do. What it means for Penny eventually.
We're probably going to get onto this later in the podcast, but Watts definitely is playing a long game here. He has other motives, and I'm terrified for what they're going to be. But as we see him, he sees that Dr. Polendina's login credentials are being used, and immediately Ironwood raises the alarm. And
not even Ironwood noticed that someone else was using, like, their credentials. So, like, and it was Watts who said it. So it's like, Ironwood is not even paying attention to anything at all. It's just, like, really infuriating. Ironwood, stop it. Okay, I'm calm.
So as we get Team Rainbow trying to work out what to do next, we get Nora snap her fingers and come up with the best plan ever. Which is where the May sneaks in and trips up a Atlas central control worker named Bill for him to spill his coffee all over one of the consoles. Oh my god, this scene is fantastic.
I just about died because I didn't expect it. I did not expect it. It was so funny.
This scene has too many things. The coffee cup that says number 1 dad, but it's the U's been crossed out. It says the A's been crossed out. It's a U and it says dud. The coffee spilling over one of the Atlas text people. Multiple people turning around and saying, "Read the sign, Bill," and it swings to a
read
sign.
The sign, Bill. Read the sign.
And it's a Jaws homage of, like, a grim shark, but it's just some food floating in the water. Oh my god. And it's everyone turning on this poor guy called Bill. And then
someone said, and one time, like, you put salmon in the microwave. Like, what is going on here? They got some real beef with Bill.
We see the office worker who had coffee spilled over and run outside, and Team Rainbow, who've just been waiting out there, quickly dash in with Ruby's semblance as they are dematerialized, and Ruby rematerializes them at the top of the stairs, pulling off a Sailor Moon stance.
Love it. I love that so much. Her face was just like, amazing, I did that. Oh my god. And she's so cute. I love her.
I love that it's Ruby finally understanding, like, what her semblance can do and the full capabilities of it. Because we did see in volume 6 in the first episode that she actually did use it with Weiss as well. And she's used it before with Penny too. Oh, now I understand why Penny understands how it's done. Oh, yeah.
Back in volume 2. Wow. Wow. Just connecting dots all over the place.
It's kind of the thing of, like, I'm guessing, because she is younger than the others, it's kind of her semblance evolving. She knew how to be fast with it. And then she knew how to do, like, a quick little burst into petals. And now she's realizing how she can literally dematerialize people as long as she holds them, and then rematerialize them at another destination.
It's amazing.
Essentially, a slow teleport. As we get Penny, Nora, and Weiss looking on in awe, and we get Blake, poor Blake, leaning up against the wall, knees shaking, saying, "Another thing I never want to do again."
She looked so frazzled. It was just so funny seeing her all shaken up, and, like, Weiss next to her all perfectly composed. And it was so funny, like, poor Blake. The poor girl can't catch a break, can she?
No. She is the only one of them who'd never been teleported before, out of them, if I remember correctly. Because as you said, Penny in Volume 1, Weiss in Volume 6, and...
she's done Nora before, too.
Yeah. Volume
You're right.
4, is it? I think.
Volume 4.
Yeah, the opening against the rock.
Yeah, against the Geist, yeah.
Poor Blake. Just her like really jerky head movement, like her knee shaking, her ears going flat to the back of her head. Aww.
She was like, I didn't ask for this. I mean, she didn't, but she's here now.
And so we get them access to the control room, and we get Penny walk up to the main console, and we see her look a little kind of nervous for a second before saying, "Hey Dad, I'm ready." First of all, her calling Pietro Dad was... I don't know why she wouldn't call him Dad, but like it tugged at my heartstrings.
It was so cute. Oh, my heart.
And
I love that.
we get Pietro remotely control Penny and RWBY freaking out.
I mean, I would be confused too.
As we get Pietro begin the download process, I guess. Just angsty thing of Pietro can remotely access Penny. I'll leave it at that for now. Just that. And we flip to Nora, Weiss, and Blake being bored, as we've got Weiss just casually leaning against the server, Nora just strolling around, and Blake spinning on a chair.
I said that Blake was a whole ass mood this episode, and she was like so relatable. I feel that.
High stealth mission to the most secure facility in the entirety of Atlas. Yeah, I'm just gonna chill on this chair, spin around.
Girl needs a break.
And we see her kind of lean forward, and we see her worrying about the others and saying how she's never seen Yang and RWBY fight like this. Evident that Blake is an only child. As we get Weiss turning around saying they're sisters. Sometimes sisters just have very different ideas about what's right. You realise very quickly she's not just talking about Yang and RWBY there, is she?
No.
And then we get Nora talking about the others, saying how Jean's a great leader, Oscar's grown a ton, and Yang is more than capable than protecting them all in a fight.
Flashbacks to last episode.
Yeah, I feel like Vietnam-esque flashbacks to last episode. And we instantly get Weiss and Blake in unison, just like head turn to Ren. And we get Nora admit that she doesn't know what Ren is.
Ow.
What Renora ship has done to deserve this one? Like, and most of the shippers haven't done anything to deserve this one, but Renora is the ship that just normally everyone's like, yeah, it's a nice ship. Oh boy, have they been put through the ringer in the last 3 episodes.
I don't know what they're doing with Renora. Like, I had never, ever been concerned about Renora's relationship. Just because it seems so steady, like since we've seen from the beginning. And then we had like those moments in Volume 4. And it wasn't until Volume 7 that I'm just like, what? What's happening?
Do you remember like what, 8 episodes chronologically when they kissed? How good that moment was, and now where we're at?
It hurt.
It hurts.
Like, I'm not the biggest Renora fan. I mean, I am a fan, but I'm like not like a hardcore super shipper. Like, I ship them, sure. But like, just watching this is so painful.
I feel like
I already dealt with all my bees shit for the past 7 volumes, 6 volumes, you know.
Oh no!
I don't need to go through this grief again.
Renora's being loaded into the gun now.
It's so terrifying.
And we get her saying that every time she thinks she's getting closer, they just seem to move further away, and that they've been together her entire life, but now she feels she understands him less than ever before, and she doesn't know if it's her fault or his. Nora. Someone give her a hug. And we get Blake giving her some very sage advice of when you're with someone that long, they become a part of you, but they're only a part of you. You need to don't forget about the rest of you.
That's talk from experience.
That's talk from experience there for Blake. Which I do love this of as I said, the interactions of Blake giving this advice at this moment between the three of them. And Nora saying she doesn't actually know who she is without Ren. And Weiss saying, maybe take this opportunity to find out. Do something only Nora can do. Okay, Nora's response of be strong and hit stuff, that's really sad to me. Nora is so much more than that. Like,
it really hurt. Like, oh. Like, way to just, like, punch me and take my lunch money, you know?
We've really seen it, especially last volume, that Nora is a very perceptive person. She instantly saw what the true situation in Mantle was. She read through Ironwood's bullshit, was prepared to stand him down in his own office. Even if you think all the way back to, like, volume 2 with Pyrrha. Practice what you preach, Pyrrha. Like,
she's very empathic.
Yeah.
And I think people take her for granted for being such a comedy relief character, you know, kind of fun and a loose cannon. But she sees things. She notices a lot of things. She's very perceptive. And, oh, it hurts because I feel like not a lot of people... Nora notices everything, but not a lot of people notice Nora. No. And that hurts.
Oh, no. All of this just... This is what I mean about this episode, is it goes from these fantastic comedic moments to literally just... wrenching at your heart, like...
Yeah. Volume 7 or Volume 8, Chapter 3 really just attacked me and took my lunch money. I'm serious. So, like, didn't ask for this.
I'm being bullied by RWBY Volume 8. Please help.
I'm being bullied. Make it stop. How much more do you need? I don't have much. I can give you, like, this donkey sticker, maybe. Was that enough? Please.
Just let the girls be happy. Also bees. That too. And Renora.
Yes.
And strangely enough, adults. Anyway, just let them be happy.
Let the kids be happy. Oh. They're all my children. Except Ironwood. He can go choke.
Yeah. He can go fall off Atlas.
Yeah.
Really small note. I do love how when they hear the computer beep, Blake's ears reacting. Such a small thing, but I really love it.
I love it when they make her ears emotive, like, yes, give me more.
As we get Pietro saying that he's downloading the clone imprint, I love the background things of them walking over and Weiss turning to RWBY and being like, what the heck is this? And RWBY just shrugging. Blake and Nora looking confused. It's amazing. So we get Penny download the code, and we get her saying how once she's uploaded it, she'll return to help with the evacuation. And we get Pietro and the others telling her that it's probably best if she remains at the arena where she's out of Salem's reach. Penny, the protector of Mantle, who's cared so much about that, is being told she's got to leave.
She needs to be safe. They need to keep her away, and that's what's really important. And if she wants to protect Mantle and she wants to save Mantle, she has to stay away. And it's hard because that's her whole reason for existing, to help people. But the way she can only help people right now is by not being there. It must be so conflicting for her.
The line she says as they go to leave the server room is, I guess we ought to do things we would rather not.
It's very reminiscent to what Weiss said to Winter at the end of last volume, too. We all have to carve our own path.
Speaking of people who really need to carve their own path, we get the doors open and we get one of the remaining shots we've not had yet of the Aesops lining up on the bridge between them and the exit.
Ugh.
And
you know they can die too. I don't care about them.
We immediately getting them trying to manipulate Penny.
I was so mad. I was so mad.
Of which Weiss gets a score on the SAS board with this one of, so your first time losing to us wasn't enough. Queen.
Yes. Love that for her.
Of which, again, another shot from Trad, the awesome moment, them all pulling weapons, of Penny hesitating because she doesn't want to attack her friends or her former allies.
The other ones are just ready to go ham. Like, let's do this. Round 2, let's go.
They're not taking Penny. We get Marrow trying to say, we were going easy. Yeah, right.
Got your ass whooped.
They claim that Penny stole the Winter Maiden power. And as...
That made me so mad!
As they taunt Ruby, we get the line from Penny of, leave her alone.
God, those words, leave her alone. I wonder where we heard that before.
Dream sequence, da-da-da, music as we suddenly flash back to Volume 3 in the arena.
But it's Ruby saying that about Penny, or saying that about Pyrrha. I'm sorry. Yeah. It was. But she was using Penny's sword to protect Pyrrha. Volume 3 hurts me.
Yep.
I feel like Volume 8's gonna hurt me too.
Let's just pretend the angsty thoughts are not here and ignore them for now and quickly move on. We'll get to the blaze, don't worry. Also, Nuts and Dolt shippers, here you go. You're having a feast so far with these first 3 episodes. Penny stepping forth when Ruby is being insulted and Ruby is upset. Penny stepping forward saying, leave her alone. Wow. You
like,
guys
they are getting some quality content.
You guys must be having a time right now. And the minute that she steps forward, after Harriet calls her tin can, of which Harriet, so help me.
God, the Aesops piss me off every time they open their mouth.
They make one good step and then make several bad. Come on. Jeez. And the minute we get Penny step outside the room, the Aesops, knowing that they couldn't win in a straight fight, had to lock the door, trapping Ruby, Nora, Blake, and Weiss in there.
Like the cowards they are, those assholes.
Doesn't
Can't
matter though.
Believe it.
Penny Maiden powers instantly kicks in. Oh, this is amazing. I love it. Penny just unleashes like a full just blast of wind and sends the entire Aesops flying back. This fight is amazing. It's very dynamic, I think is the right word. It's very quick moving. It's constantly like changing around as we get all of the Aesops just trying to swarm Penny. We get Harriet using her super speed of she gets some hits in and then Penny just starts kicking her butt. I don't know why. I never thought I needed a shot of Harriet getting absolutely clotheslined by Penny. But it's amazing.
It's there now.
It's there.
No, this fight was really, really good. Like, in terms of, like, I think the fight choreography that went down on it. Like, I think it was pretty spectacular. I did see some people say, like, it was too slow. I digress. I think it was pretty good. Like,
too slow, really?
They really were. Yeah, I saw a couple of that. People were saying it didn't seem to go as fast and as snappy as they wanted to, but I think it did really well. But it was also great to see just how you were saying how dynamic like they've been able to like make these fights now, especially in the new engine, because you know they've had trouble before in the past.
Yeah, I think that 4 and 5 was very much them still trying to get to grips with the engine. I still hold personally, I think there are some good fights in 4 and 5. Blake versus Ilya for one. But
that was a good one, yeah.
you are very right. Like 6, 7, and now 8. You see it ramp up each time. I thought this fight was really quite quick paced. Like it was going back and forth so many times.
It made me nervous because, like, ooh, poor Penny. Like, she's the focal point, but you can see, like, every time, like, a new, Aesop came in to just, like, throw her off.
Yeah. And we get her being basically bear hugged by Elm, and the wind dies down, and then we just watch as it slowly emerges again as we get the trailer shot, and Penny just, boom, giant icy blast across all of them. Amazing. I love it.
I really loved seeing Penny, you try to utilize her maiden powers, but you can really see like how green she is at this versus going back to volume 5 when you think about, the Raven Cinder fight. Raven, who is an experienced maiden who's had these powers for over 10 years probably, being able to use that while fighting versus like using it offensively rather versus Penny, who you see her using it more defensively and not I don't think she's really like honing in the skills that she needs to, but that's because she just got them like, what did we say, less than 12 hours ago? But it's really nice to see that.
Wouldn't even be that. Hang on. So, maths is not my strong suit. Give me a moment. So
neither it's mine.
It was sometime, given that it's really dark out, it's sometime probably between 10 and 2 a.m. when Penny gets the maiden powers. There's a 4-hour time skip between the end of volume 7 and volume 8. And we can say that probably, maybe 2 hours passed between them leaving, them being in the Happy Huntress hideout to them getting up here. So, at maximum 6 hours. She's had the maiden powers for 6 hours, and she's going 4v1 and holding her own.
Like, you can really tell, though, I really love that. Like, she is using these powers intuitively. She's using them, like, she knows she can use them and kind of how to use them, but she is still very new at this. And she doesn't really know how to use it to her full advantage. But it's fantastic, I think. I hope we can continue to see her grow with these new powers.
Oh, yeah.
I hope.
One thing, as I said, with how dynamic it is, I love that every combatant in the fight uses their like skill set and their semblance. Each bit is crucial.
Yeah.
We see, if you think like Harriet, Elm, and Vine, their semblances are very like multi-use sort of things that you use often. But they're
very physical.
Yeah, but you get with Marrow's, which is kind of very much one use, like a big showstopper. It's their plan to stop Penny was for him to freeze her. Which I do like, just stun Penny just T-posing in the air. I don't know why, it's kind of humorous to me.
I was so ready for her to shoot them down, and I completely forgot about Marrow's semblance. I was like, fuck.
Damn it.
God damn it.
And just as you think the Aesops are going to get her, up to bat steps Nora Valkyrie. In what, honestly... Okay, I will admit Nora's one of my 5 favourite characters in RWBY. I love her.
I love her too. I cosplay her, so I really love her.
We're going to get into that in a bit. That's throwing me, dude. People talk about cosplay, always gets me. It's amazing. Anyway, Nora, that was it. Okay. I am biased in this. She's one of my favourite characters. Nora, in this moment, honestly might be one of my favourite ever RWBY moments. It's up there. This moment is just badass in every sense of the word. It's so awesome, yet at the same time, as we're going to get into, it's slightly heartbreaking, it's cool, it's funny. I don't know how they managed to pack it all into one bit like this.
I think it was a really powerful moment for her, both figuratively and literally.
So we get her come up to the electrical door that's stopping them from getting out the server room. And we see her unfold Magenhild. And we hear her say, "Be strong," and hit stuff. And we see Weiss call out to her as Nora jams her hammer into the electrical field. And we watch as, assumably, 50,000 volts of electricity gets poured into her. as all the lights around the room flicker, the lightning runs down her, and we see lightning beams light up her entire body. Pink lightning. Her hair gets shot back, and we see her do a spin and send the door into oblivion.
It was incredible. Oh my god. Girl, be strong and hit stuff. She did exactly that.
Be strong and hit stuff. I'm not gonna lie, I know they're gonna do it. When RWBY make a shirt that says that, I'm buying it. I don't care what it looks like. It's gonna say be strong and hit stuff. I'm gonna get it.
I mean, same.
And we get the door just smash the Aesops out of the way, of which I need to send you the screenshot I took of Vine doing his shocked face. And it's the exact same one of when Yang hit him in Volume 7, and it kills me. This man has one reaction, and it's the best.
Oh my god!
Yeah. Oh my god. And so we get the dust clear, and we've seen the lightning crackling off Nora. We get her Super Saiyan hair, which I love. And I was at this point thinking, oh, this is awesome. We're going to see her super powered up. Is this going to be a thing now? Every time she uses a semblance, we see like the lightning glow up. She gets the Super Saiyan hair. No. Eddie, Kirsty, Kerry, and Miles were just waiting with a sledgehammer to hit us with. Because we have the funny line of Nora slightly dazed saying, that was pretty awesome. And we watch the lightning fade and we realise it's lightning scarring. And her entire body is scarred. And as she says the line, her aura breaks and she slumps to the floor unconscious.
Like, one, I'm gonna say, like, those scars are pretty fucking cool. Like,
oh yeah, they are so cool.
I am totally going to do a drawing with Nora and her new scars. Like, that is in the plans today when I go do my art stuff.
Oh,
but
please, we will definitely reblog it when it comes out.
You'll see it. You'll be one of the first people to see it when I'm done. But oh my god, I am not too nervous. I think she'll be okay, but it's just like, oh my god, seeing like the actual damage that it incurred in her. Like, we know her semblance, like she can, like, the electricity like supercharges her muscles and makes her super strong. We know that, but just seeing her like actually take that damage like that physically, we've never seen that before. Not like that. And I really do hope those scars are permanent because she'd look so badass.
I hope.
But also, please don't do it again.
Yeah, I hope the scars are permanent, but I also hope they don't like cause her major pain. She isn't like. The one thing I'd like to point out is we see this scarring happen before her aura breaks. Now,
that's the worrying part. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So correct me if I'm wrong, Sunny. Again, people in the comments, correct me if I'm wrong. From what I know of the aura, is aura protects your body from taking physical harm. The amount of damage, the amount of electricity she stored, how much damage it was doing to her was so powerful, it scarred her even before her aura broke. I am not okay with that information.
It's because they did say, well, we'll get to that later, but it does not look, I'm so stressed.
Also, Penny...
I hope that she...
Sorry.
I hope she's okay. No, it's just like, how bad can it be if they're like really focusing on her like this, you know? On this moment on her. It's just worrisome. Very worrying.
We may as well get into it.
Oh no! I'm sorry.
No, not the full length. Just how long Nora's going to be out. They've said the big thing that got everyone terrified about this volume is it's going to be over roughly, they said 48 hours. I'm imagining just a bit more.
Mm-hmm.
So evidently Nora's going to probably be taken back to the crater to recuperate. They're on a time window here. To recharge an aura, considering that most of the Team RWBY, Team Juniper took a bit of a beating in the finale of Volume 7, it seems in 4 hours they've regenerated back their aura. Mm-hmm. So if it's not completely gone, 4 hours is good enough for it to come back. if it's completely gone, is this like D&D mechanics? Do you need like a long rest? Because right now, they don't really have 7 hours to spare. And Nora is arguably up there with Yang as their heaviest hitter.
Yeah. Oh, without a doubt. I wouldn't be so worried if, you know, they get back to the crater and Jean is there, you know? But Jean is not there. Jean is quite preoccupied right now, as is Ren and Yang, trying to get back Oscar.
That's something for next episode. So
oh no, how am I going to survive the week?
As we getting Penny cradling an unconscious Nora, we get RWBY, Blake, and Weiss line up in, again, a really cool shot. I love it. We get Ironwood being a little bitch, complaining about that was our one chance, and we get, god damn it, Watts. I've said this before, Watts is actually one of my favorite villains, because I love how he's voiced, I love how he acts. He is this very easily he's easy to like as a villain, if you get what I mean. Like, he's evil.
He's cocky, he's smarmy.
Yeah. You just hate him.
Yeah.
But you love how evil he is in the ways he does.
Yeah.
And just turns around, I have a message for your operatives. And as we see the four of them go to take on the Aesops, we see the Aesops get this command, and as they go in, they knock RWBY, Blake, and Weiss off the shelf, of which I've got to say, the three ladies here, their arm game is on point. Because RWBY is holding on to Blake, who's holding on to Weiss. All of their arm strength must be ridiculous.
They be buff.
RWBY, give them the muscles they deserve.
Please.
And so we get RWBY do this awesome move where she lets them fall so she can use a semblance to bring them back up. We see the Aesops take their moment and grab one of Penny's swords and disconnect it from her back. And as we get RWBY do the awesome landing in with Blake and Weiss, we get the Aesops going, right, we're backing out now. And we see Weiss raise suspicion about it before they quickly make their escape.
Those fucking cowards.
Also, we do get Penny cradling Nora once again. We see Penny reach for Magenhild, and it's still got too much electricity in for even Penny to hold. That's
like she really hesitated to grab that. And I did see, touching up on that, I did see a post earlier where someone was talking about, I think a mutual man was talking about how, you know, we know that weapons are an extension of, you know, the people who wield them, and how it doesn't seem like it's very, I don't want to use the word like ethical. I don't know what the word I want to use, but it doesn't seem like a very like normal thing to do for to have someone else use another person's weapon. Like, you know, very rarely we do, like with Yang and Blake when they do the Bumblebee move and they use Gamble's Shroud. There's a lot of trust there. So like having Harriet just rip one of Penny's swords away from her and just like disconnect that from her, and like the way kind of Penny hesitates in grabbing Magenhild as well. Like you can see that weapons are very important to, you know, to their wielders, and I'm just like, ooh, and that's what worries me, because like we have this whole thing with Penny being a robot, but she's also a real girl and not being seen as a real person, and then having them call her, you know, Tin Can or other like Robo Girl, things like that, and how she's really not her own person to other people, except to the people who care about her. Like we see when we saw, like, you know, Pietro, like, you know, remote over her. He waited until Penny had said, okay, Dad, I'm ready. She gave her consent to him to do that, instead of just, you know, barging his way in. Like Harriet, instead, you know, she just yanks away her weapon and takes it. It's really jarring, and it kind of like, it hurts. It hurts, and I'm scared.
I think you've hit the money exactly right there, because, again, correct me if I'm wrong, I should have looked this up. Volume 1, RWBY, I think when she's talking to Jean, I think it's like the second episode. Weapons are an extension of ourselves. And that's something that's, as you said, has been very reiterated. Like the moment where Adam breaks Blake's sword, that is a big effing moment. And again, how it's paired with, I'm gonna say this wrong, Kitsunugi, I believe, the Japanese art of
Kintsugi.
Apologies to anyone who speaks Japanese for my horrendous pronunciation. The way of fixing pottery by using gold, or in this case, yellow metal. Again, you think with Jean and Pyrrha, when Jean upgraded, I always say it wrong, Crosium Moors, his sword and shield. When he upgraded them, he used parts of Pyrrha's weapon. Again, you mentioned earlier, when Penny goes to when Ruby goes to defend Pyrrha, she uses Penny's weapon.
Yeah.
It's a big thing it's shown. And Penny's being taken like this is major oof.
We get May. It hurts. It's scary. It's awful.
We get May being cool as she's already snagged an airship, being the awesome happy huntress that she is, and her reaction of Nora being hurt, of Blake's she's in bad shape, is not worrying at all. As we get them blasting out of Atlas, and as Penny gently lowers Nora to the floor of the airship they've taken, we get her with a sad goodbye to Ruby.
With her like little, salutation, salute.
First of all, I'd like to say we'll see each other again real soon. I promise. Okay.
That ain't some foreshadowing. I don't know what is.
There is. Cue the John Mulaney gif. We don't have time to unpack all of this. First of all, the ominous things of Penny being hacked and things I'm going to torture you with later, Sunny, in this podcast. The fact that this feels like kind of a callback to Bumblebee with promises. Promises mean a lot in this show. That's not worrying. Of Penny returning the hug and bringing Ruby in closer, and then glancing across to Blake and
Weiss and Blake, yes. Like, these are the people who truly care about her. Who truly care about Penny as a person. Like, they're her friends. Maybe they're even, like, her family at this point. But there is definitely, like, I don't want to say a parallel, but, like, maybe more like a foil, I guess, of how, the Aesops and Ironwood view Penny versus, Team Ruby and Team Juniper viewing Penny. Like, this is a person, and they're like, this is a weapon. It's like, no, they truly care about her, and they want, and they know the best thing for her is for her not to be there. They just don't know what's actually going on behind the scenes on the other side.
And so we get, as you said, the sad salutations as she flies away, and we cut to Ironwood taking the part of Penny's weapon, one of the swords that Harriet got, saying good work, and Harriet refuting, saying no, good work would have been capturing Penny. And we get Watts being the most evil again as he's sitting in Pietro's office saying, if you can't beat them, then make them join you. And it gets to
make them. Ugh.
Okay, so usually if you've ever tuned in this podcast, this is the point where we go through theories. There's only one really we're going to get into this episode for obvious reasons. It's gone around the fandom like wildfire. And boy, do I have some evil, angsty theories.
Oh boy!
So, Penny being...
I got some too. Just saying.
Oh, now this is a first. The guest returning fire. Now this is going to be interesting. Okay.
Let's go. Tell me your theories.
Okay, so it's very obvious now that Penny's going to get hacked.
The
question is how much control is What's going to get, of which we've seen in this episode that Penny can be remotely accessed and someone could take over her voice So just imagine the moment of Penny turning around, it's just what's his voice and her eyes going red. Just imagine that. The angsty theory I have for you is that Penny is going off to the Vital Arena. She's going there to look after Pietro and Maria, and she has the access code within her. So, aside from the fact that now for literally everybody's plan, she's a crucial linchpin. For Ironwood to win, he needs Penny. For Ruby and the rest to win, they need Penny. For Salem to win, she needs Penny. So, if she gets hacked, regardless of if Salem or Ironwood is in control, Pietro and Maria are in trouble. Because they have a rogue android on their hands. And we all theorise that Pietro would die via whale, but what if he gets injured by Penny? Imagine what that would do to Penny. I don't think Penny killing him is a little too dark, I think, for this show, but...
I don't know. I agree. I don't think Penny directly will be killing him.
Yeah. Okay, here's the really angsty one. So... Penny versus Ruby fight. Promise I'll see you again soon.
I really do not think we're going to see Penny again as herself the next time we see her. I really do not. And if we do, I'll be really surprised. But I do not, with just those words, I really don't think we're going to see Penny again
just
as we know her.
Scenario. It's 4 episodes time, 5, maybe 6. And the team's regrouped. They've maybe got Oscar out, maybe they haven't. They're trying to sort out things in Mantle. And they suddenly come on, turn to Pietro and Maria, fire it up, get it in the air. And it just suddenly comes through Maria or Pietro, like screaming, yelling, Penny's gone rogue, and it just cuts out. And then it's just Ruby, like, either it's at the arena or she has to run up to Atlas, but she has to try and stop Penny from opening the vault in time. Which brings into a very interesting theory, which I believe you've got, Sunny.
Yes. Look, Penny's gonna be hacked. That's happening here. We know it. We see it. It's in progress, as we have seen in the episode. Hints were dropped of it in the opening itself. But Penny is going to open the vault. We all know it. Atlas is going to fall. I think we see that coming from last season. Atlas is going to fall. Like, there is no way that it's not going to fall out of the sky. I do, however, think that when the staff is taken, who knows what exactly is going to go down. This is all pure speculation. Penny gets hurt. Penny, quote unquote, dies again like she did in Volume 3. And like how we know that Penny's aura is basically generated by Pietro himself, you know, instead of rebooting her mechanical body, they're going to use the Staff of Creation to create, you know, a physical, biological human body for Penny's new soul, or Penny's soul and her aura given to her by her father, to go into this new body so she could become a real girl and no longer have her, you know, autonomy taken from her, no longer being controlled by anyone else except for herself. And that's where I really see this going. But I also do think that when that happens, we're going to lose Pietro. We know he's not in good condition. And we know that every time he gives Penny more aura, he loses it himself. So how much does he actually have left? I think he does not have any left except to save his daughter. And I think he would do that willingly. But I think that's also really going to hurt Penny as well.
Yeah.
So I think that's how hurting her father or losing her father is going to go down.
What if?
As for this part, though, here's a weird theory.
Ooh.
But I don't... If or when this happens, this theory supposedly happens, I don't know if Penny will keep the maiden powers.
Now that is very interesting.
Like, if she dies, quote, dies, you know, will those powers still stay with her? Or will they go to someone else? That is that's what I don't know, because we know that she can die, but she comes back when Pietro, gives her that life back,
Mm-hmm.
But if she's going into a new body and a new host, will those powers stick with her, or will they go to someone else? Personally, I've always been attached to both the Nora Maiden and the Winter as Winter Maiden theory, but we don't know, like, will she have anyone in her last thoughts? I personally don't think it's going to be RWBY, because that's just too OP. They're not going to give RWBY Maiden powers on top of being a silver-eyed, mythical warrior.
Mm-hmm.
But will those powers stay with Penny? Like, they already proven, those powers prove that she is, yes, a real girl. But would they stay with her? Would they go to someone else? Would they go to the other side?
Who knows?
We don't know. Who knows? But if that does happen, I would love for it to be Winter. I would love for it to be Nora. Just those two. But that's my theory. For now.
Interestingly, there is the theory of Nora's going to be the one to get it out of the vault. There was the theory of, in Volume 1, the order in which they got the relics in the Beacon initiation is the people who are going to get them out of the vaults. Because Yang was the first one to pick a relic up, and she was the first to pick an actual relic up. And it's a strong belief it's going to be Nora in this volume. To be completely evil.
Oh no.
Your idea of Penny becoming a real girl. What if Salem takes over control, or what's under Salem's command takes control of Penny and uses the staff to do something, and Atlas is falling, and Penny is broken, and they have a choice of either saving Atlas or saving Penny. Now that I've left you with that angsty thought, we're going to move on to the next one. I said I was going to be evil.
That was quite brutal, yes.
So Penny getting hacked is something that is evidently going to go down. Question of where it's...
Might I interject?
Go for it.
Yes, absolutely, she's getting hacked. But I don't think Watts is hacking her for Ironwood. He is hacking her for Salem. Absolutely. Right? Is that like hopefully common knowledge?
This is what I was going to get onto.
Okay.
Okay. Watts is too smarmy. He's a weasel. He's a silver-tongued fox. He's got other games. He is working for Salem. Like, he's going to pretend to work for Ironwood until the moment, and he's going to switch back to his original side. Question is, what sort of mayhem is he going to cause? Because he went from just being this smarmy, fancy-dressed guy in previous volumes to being terrifying last season. Of which, again, respect to RWBY for taking what seemed like the most boring of the villains and making him, in my personal opinion, right up there amongst the best. Because, oh my god, last volume, he was amazing. I've
always known that he's had this potential. He is very, very terrifying. Just like, I don't know, whatever implications of this, like, evil scientist doctor dude. Like, ooh, he's done some shit in the past. Like,
He has no real, or not like no physical strength he can fight, but I mean, compared to other people, he's not a born fighter. He's a scientist, but he is an evil genius, and there's something very refreshing about that. And him in control of Penny, what sort of chaos could he cause? I don't know why, but RWBY Penny fight, I think, is on the cards.
I think you're right. I do think you're right. I think that's gonna go down. Oh no, that scared me.
For your idea, sorry, I'm tying theories together here. My brain's working overtime. Always see the Philadelphia GIF with a board just pointing at it and all the lines. Okay. They get the call from the arena from Pietro and Maria that Penny's gone rogue. Maybe Maria's last stand. Who knows? Penny, they realise, is flying to Atlas to take the relic. And they realise that Watts is about to betray Ironwood. They rush up, break into the vault, and it's RWBY fending off Penny whilst Nora goes into the now open vault to get the relic. And just as Penny's going for the killing blow, Nora, with no other choice, bamf, real girl.
Damn. Well, we also have to think about, like, is there, like, a type of djinn inside the staff of creation as well? What are the limitations? Well, we know the limitations is, like...
One thing at a time.
Yeah. Yep.
Here we are in the future, and it's fair.
Oh. I do think Penny is going to be facing down all of RWBY, Juniper, and Oscar. Can I still use a Juniper with Oscar? I'm going to say yes. Yeah, there's still a P in there. Oscar Pine. I don't like using orange because that just puts Oscar in the leader and removes Jean as the leader of his own team. So I just like keeping Juniper. Plus, Pyrrha is still a part of them, okay? Don't take her out of it. She's still Juniper.
Don't worry, next episode's going to be fine. It's totally not going to be Yang and the lad shooting off into the tundra to chase down Oscar, who's in the mouth of a giant Grim, who's going to be taken to Salem, and she's going to learn how to...
Everything's fine. Nothing bad ever happened. Ever. Okay?
Perfect reference. I think that's the perfect place to end this podcast. Sunny, it's been an absolute delight to have you on the podcast. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for inviting me. It's been great being here.
If you do not know, and you've not had the pleasure of viewing them, Sunny is an absolutely fantastic artist. Holy moly, her art is absolutely top notch. I'm
just a humble hobby artist.
Where can we find your amazing content? Please, I beg everyone to go check it out. Where can we find it?
Well, if you really do want to check out my art, you can find me on both Tumblr and Twitter under the handle SunnyTeea. That's spelled SunnyTeea, SUNNYTEEA. There's 2 E's in that T. I'm also on Instagram under that same handle, and I also do have a cosplay account on Instagram, which is sunnytea.cos.cos. So if you want to check me out, I've got stuff there.
You do cosplay? I did not know this. I feel like I've missed out.
I haven't done any cosplay in the past 8 months because, pandemic, but...
That's kind of understandable, yeah.
But I do cosplay, yes. I have done Penny and I've done Nora. Yeah. Oh, no, I haven't done Penny yet. She's a current project I'm working on right now. I have done Nora and I have done Penny. Not Penny. I'm so excited about my Penny cosplay. I keep going back to her. It's Penny 2.0 specifically, so I'm really excited. Then Nora and RWBY. Those are the 2 I've done.
RWBY.
And RWBY, yes.
Well, links will be on the screen down below. I'm going to go check them out in a moment because I don't miss out. I was going to say, you just completed the Bumblebee Big Bang. I had Pagoda on last week. I believe you did the art for her fic, right?
Yes, for Pagoda, that's my actual real-life sister, believe it or not. But I joined her team last minute. Her and her artist partner brought me in. They're like, just join us. Just join. I'm like, okay. And I drew something in a week and a half, and I'm very proud of it. I had a lot of help getting it done because it was a really short amount of time, and I started to struggle. But I hit the deadline. We all did it. We posted fic, we posted art, and it was a real big bang, if you know what I'm saying.
Hey. Wonderful art, as you can see on screen right now. That's what you're missing out on.
Thank you.
Go follow. Aside from that, before we wrap up the podcast, one last thing you'd like to say? The
bees will kiss at some point. Don't know when, don't know how, but it's coming.
The RWBY gift of her raising her eyebrows, that will be on screen right now. That's
perfect.
Aside from that, best of luck on Saturday, guys, girls, and non-binary pals. It's going to be great. No angst at all. So.
No angst.
No angst.
None whatsoever.
None whatsoever.
We'll be okay.
Yeah, we'll be okay. Fingers crossed. Anyway, thank you so much for tuning in on the RWBY Radio Podcast. It's been great to have you here, as always. Thanks for joining us. And please remember, tag your spoilers. Be RWBY, not Salem, and I hope every single one of you has an absolutely great day. Goodbye.